Welcome back to Set Streets and Eats, guys. I'm Chris Bauer. I am in Sweet Home, Oregon. That's right, that's the name of the city. Sweet Home, Oregon. Not Alabama, Oregon. I am in front of a classic piece of Americana, an old A&W root beer. I remember these from my childhood. You guys have still seen these around. They are around, but they're more of a modern looking restaurant. This is how I remember them. And we're gonna go in, talk about the history of A&W root beer, have some delicious food, and maybe even a root beer float. And I hope you guys will join me. Let's go eat. Guys, I've got to tell you about my Zelensky Auto Parts t-shirt. I don't know if you guys noticed this. This one is not from the 80s. This one's from the 90s. One of my favorite comedies of all time, Tommy Boy. I know you guys already knew it. This is Dan Aykroyd's character. He is an auto parts king, and this is his company. I had to get this t-shirt. Of course, I got it from 80stees.com. You already knew that. The one and only place to get the most awesome t-shirts on the internet. You too can get a shirt this cool from 80stees.com. All you got to do, click the link in the description below of this video. That's it. They have literally tens of thousands of t-shirts. Tens of thousands. Click the link, get an awesome t-shirt, and be cool like me. Or cooler. Probably be cooler than me. But I don't know. This is a cool Tommy Boy t-shirt. Get yours today. Go check them out.
You know, the only place you'll find A&W root beer is at A&W. And it's the only place you'll meet the 4 delicious members of the burger family: Papa Burger, Mama Burger, Teen Burger, and Baby Burger. Enjoy the burger family with fries, onion rings, pies, and other things. And don't forget, there's a free baby root beer for kiddies under 5.
To A&W. Food's more fun at A&W. We'll have a mug of root beer, or maybe 2 or 3. Pick the perfect size from the burger family. Hey, let's all go to A&W. I can taste it now, can't you? Hop in the car. Hop in the car. Come as you are to A&W.
Yes, can I get a number 3 combo? Let's do root beer. That'll work. All right, thank you. Now we wait for it.
We want it juicy, sizzling, frosty, fizzling, crisp and crunchy, hot and munchy. We want it beefy, meaty, tasty, treaty, nibbles, archy, deep and nutty, yummy, yummy, foamy, fuzzy, so delicious, so delicious, so delicious. Mix it.
So I have a little gift shop up here where Rudy figures and cups are sold, along with bottles and little mini mugs. That's pretty cool.
Everybody knows the A&W Great Root Beer loves a glass of A&W Great Root Beer. the rich and creamy real draft root beer. And since you and your family love our famous root beer, you'll love to get a hold of our big new 16-ounce root beer glasses. And for only 79 cents, you can hug the root beer you love and keep the glass. So start a collection today because supplies aren't limited at your participating A&W family restaurant.
A&W root beer's got that frosty look taste.
So A&W root beer was started in 1919 in Lodi, California by a man named Roy Allen. He used to buy up hotels around the early part of the 20th century and renovate them. And he made a deal with a pharmacist he met during one of those hotel deals in Arizona to buy the hotel and the soda fountain. And part of that deal was the pharmacist's recipe for root beer. So in 1919, he opened a little root beer and hamburger stand there in Lodi. He definitely went heavily on the root beer because Prohibition had just started, and he knew with the name root beer, a lot of people would be coming in thinking they could get a beer. The boys were coming back from World War I, and he knew that would definitely be a draw. And then once, of course, they got in there and realized they couldn't get a beer, they would stay because once they tasted the delicious drink, they would definitely enjoy it, and the gamble paid off. He even decorated it like an Old West saloon with the bar and the bar stools and whatnot. So the place was such a hit, they opened up a second one in nearby Stockton a year later in 1920, and realized that was a hit too. So he realized he was onto something, but it was getting too big for him. He needed a partner, and one of his employees, Frank Wright, agreed to go into business with him so they could open up 5 more locations that year. And they decided to go in together and decided to name their company and restaurants after the first letter of each of their last names, and A&W Root Beer was born. They were also the first nationwide chain of American fast food restaurant. Can I just say, does anything go down better than a root beer float? Answer is no. Oh, God, they're so good. They are amazing. Anyway, so growth was quick after that. They just kept growing and growing. Sometime before World War II, Roy Allen ended up buying Frank Wright out, bought his shares out, and owned the company himself. After World War II, by 1950, there was over 400 of these nationwide. And then 1950 and in the 50s and 60s, drive-in culture, fast food culture exploded in America. Sometime during all that, I forget what year, Roy Allen sold the company. The company changed hands many times. Many companies have owned A&W Root Beer. Sometime in that process, the root beer itself, the beverage itself, company, and the restaurant company have separated. They are 2 separate companies now, owned by 2 separate companies, other companies. In other words, the restaurant company has to buy their root beer from another company that owns A&W. Anyway, by 1974, they reached their peak with 2,200 locations nationwide, or worldwide actually. By their 100th anniversary in 2019, they were down to about 1,000 locations worldwide. In 2002, they were bought by Yum Brands, and they're still owned by them today. Yum Brands, of course, owns Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut, Long John Silver's, and so on. That's why you see these doubled up with one of those restaurants a lot. They do those 2 for double restaurants. Even in my hometown, or the place I live in, Paducah, Kentucky, we have a Long John Silver / A&W root beer. And it's because those are Yum brand restaurants. But a huge part of the drive-in culture, America's love of drive-ins, were invented by A&W root beer. When I was a kid, we had one of these, two of these. One in Flint, Michigan, right up a road called Pearson Road. We used to go to when I was a really little kid. And I have fond memories of that. But the one I have the fondest memories of was in a little town right next to my hometown called in Flushing, Michigan. Every Friday night, my dad's best friend, Mike Sedlak, and my best friend, his son, Matt Sedlak, we would go there on Friday nights. And Matt and I would skateboard in the parking lot, and we would order our Coney dogs on those phones. We had the phones at the booths. And we would call in our orders from our table, and we'd eat our Coney dogs and go out in the parking lot and play while our dads talked at the tables. I love those Friday nights, the A&W root beer in Flushing. I got fond memories of those. It's very Americana, A&W root beers. They're pretty awesome. Nostalgia is very much wrapped up in A&W root beers. American culture is very much wrapped up in these.
We want 2 big, tall, cold frosty ones.
Rich and creamy, big foamy here.
Yeah, A&W root beer.
Oh, yeah? A&W? Yeah.
Oh, root beer.
This is A&W root beer. It's got that frosty mug taste. It's special.
Ooh, it's special. Pour yourself a frosty one. A&W root beer.
Sometimes it's nice to drink alone.
That A&W tastes so fine, sends a thrill up my spine. Get that frosty mug sensation. Ooh, that A&W tastes so good, feel it down in my soul. It's so smooth and creamy tasting. Get that creamy frosty mug sensation. Ooh, talking about that A&W.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little trip down memory lane for the history of A&W root beer. I know I did. That was delicious. And I enjoyed thinking of some of my favorite memories from my childhood at A&W root beer. Hard to believe that's been around for over 100 years. Crazy. Anyway, I enjoyed it. So goodbye from sweet home, Oregon. Not Alabama, Oregon. Yeah, that was great. See you guys at the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye now.